What non-mammal would be best at using a blender?
Hey yo, welcome back to the High Kicks podcast. How are we doing, everybody? Carl is not here. He's at a bachelor party in Atlantic City, so I'm gonna pop the finger guns for him. Uh, that was an aggressive wave, Chad. All right, stop waving. Answer your question.
Starfish.
Octopus.
Starfish.
I don't think Patrick Starr would know how to operate a blender.
That is very. What animal? What animal tree are they in? And that's very invertebraced of you.
Invertebraced.
Invertophobic.
Cool. I'm not talking about all starfish. I'm just talking about Patrick. But I think an octopus would have that shit down fucking pat. We have a pretty quick episode, I think, for you guys today. Little bit of Premier League. One shout out to an Italian side. A preview, a little bit of the European final from hell. Some talk about a child. And then a little bit of a serious conversation. Got anything you want to say to that, Chad?
Hey yo, welcome to the podcast.
So we don't really have too much to say about the Premier League table. We're recording. We have a lot to say, but it's not going to be too long. We're recording this on a Thursday. Episode's coming out on Friday. I don't really think we need to go back and talk about last week's games too much. The only thing I want to say is anybody who thought that Nico Jackson red card wasn't a red card, you're lying to yourself.
Thank you, Nico Jackson. Thank you.
I mean, he literally, yes, he did check the ball. And then he, turned his eyes directly towards the other player and wound up his elbow and hit him in the fucking face. So that's a red card if I've ever seen one.
I am so prepared for Chelsea to enter their third manager in consecutive seasons.
And you think they fire Enzo?
If they don't reach the Champions League, yes.
If they don't reach the Champions League, they probably will.
They fired Poch for less.
That's fair. That's fair.
They have not looked good this calendar year. And albeit it's also because their squad planning is a mess.
Yeah.
But you kind of, they're not going to blame the tens of billions of dollars they've spent on players. They're going to blame it on the easiest thing to blame on.
The manager.
And that is the manager.
Yeah. I mean, I think they've bought too many semi-viable players in the last however many windows that squad selection for any manager just has to be an absolute headache.
Agreed. This is also the same club that sold their own women's soccer team to themselves.
They did do that.
We are dealing with some real Grinches here. So I feel like, albeit they did spend a shit ton of money on Enzo to acquire him.
Yeah.
Still,
go ahead.
Such an easy decision on their part to just do because they're not going to blame the players.
Yeah. So the table is really interesting. Second place through seventh place are separated by 6 points, although Forest and seventh do not have any kind of feasible way to reach second. But basically, all of the European spots are still up for grabs in some degree. And it's awesome. I know the title has been decided for an extended period of time, but all of the European places are going to come down to this weekend and the final week of the season. And it's going to be really, really exciting to watch.
Brian, why is Nottingham Forest not going to reach second place?
I mean, there's 2 matches left. They're 6 points down on Arsenal, and they're behind on 21 goal differential. So, that's one reason.
Why are they 6 points down to Arsenal?
What are you getting at, Chad?
They got poo pooed on by Leicester City.
Oh yeah.
What do you think?
I
We
love
scored 2 goals in
I
90
love
minutes.
I love how getting poo pooed on by Leicester City means drawing.
Yes. You failed to put up more than 2 goals in 90 minutes against a Connor Cody while Faw's back line.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
You don't deserve it. You don't deserve Champions League. You pooped the bed.
Yeah. I will say so Newcastle Arsenal is definitely the most important match of the weekend.
Very much.
Very much. I don't think Chelsea and Villa are going to have too much of an issue with Spurs and with United, or I guess United and Spurs, respectively, in that order. I I genuinely think if United and Spurs play competitive lineups in this match or in either of these matches, they're just stupid.
I say you play your full strength starting 11.
That's why your team's getting relegated.
See, no, because our full strength starting 11 isn't even good enough for a second straight starting 11 on 15 of the other teams in this league.
That's fair.
This team is worse than the championship team that got promoted.
It actually is, which is kind of crazy. It really is. Like, I mean, hey, you're going to the Stoke Kairos next year.
We get to face Wrexham next year.
Yep. Yep. All right, but now back into the places that actually people care about for the table. I I would love to see Arsenal just completely bottle this. I really would. I had a conversation in our footy group with like Kyle and a couple of the other people there, and I was like, "Hey, so like, if Arsenal falls out of European places or even falls into the Europa League, do they sack Arteta?" And the Arsenal fans in that group were like, "No, no." And I don't know. My logic really on it is if he doesn't make Champions League, he's got to go. And if he stays this year, he either needs to win the Champions League or the Premier League next year, or next season's his last season. A League Cup and an FA Cup won't cut it.
My favorite thing seeing Arsenal discourse for the past week is like, well, if you look at the other years, they had more points than teams that won the title. And it's like, that's cool. Not this year.
Yeah, like I'm sorry, but every season's different. Like, cool.
We may have a potential who finished third in a 2 horse race. A second who finished third in a 2 horse race will be hitting London if Arsenal bottle it. So I think very funny.
It would be. It would be great. I
Uh,
speaking of I don't know, just two shitty teams in the Premier League. I just want to give a little bit of a highlight preview, whatever the Europa League final next week.
oh
I
yeah.
I genuinely think Spurs are kind of screwed. Um, no Kulu, probably no Madison. It's gonna be a rough one. I really think so. What?
If there is a match to lose in Manchester United history
It's this
for
one.
the past decade, it is this one.
It is this one.
It is against a team that they are infinitely better than, infinitely more healthy than, in more form, better form at least. I mean, yeah, they just lost. Both of them just lost 2-0. But I feel like United have some sort of direction with Amarim, albeit it's not like The pendulum isn't swinging. The meter
So
isn't moving far.
we don't know what kind of direction they have with Amarim because he hasn't had a summer window yet. He hasn't
I
actually had an
But what
opportunity
I
to
mean
bring
by
in anybody that he
what
wants.
what I mean by that is that like I feel like watching United, you at least feel like there is some certainty.
Yes, that's fair.
Unlike under Ten Hag, under Ole, they
I'll
at
give you that.
least they're going a direction. Now I understand this is also, but the loser of this team is dead,
Yes,
deceased.
deceased.
Will like West Ham are capable of doing what they're doing because, well, simply the bottom three teams in the Premier League are two ass at this point.
Correct.
United and Tottenham cannot afford no Europe with their
Correct.
roster builds.
Yeah, if either of those, so the loser of this match isn't going to make Europe next year, and the loser of this match is going to have to sell heavy.
There's a lot of guys currently in their prime now want to be in major European competitions.
Yep.
It is going to be very hard to convince someone in the prime of their career, like Madison, like Garnacho, just an example on either team, but there's plenty of other examples on both sides to say we might have just finished 16th or 17th and just crashed out of Europe. Please stay when you have European teams, European suitors
Coming after them.
coming after them for cheap
Yeah.
because those contracts are absurd
Yep.
on both teams.
Yeah, and if you don't have the money coming in from Europe and you can't afford the insane contract, and I mean, you could also take the gamble and lose money for a year and hope you get back into Europe and see if you can outmaneuver PSR or FFP, whatever the fuck it's called now. But that's ballsy.
I mean, Nottingham Forest survived points
Yeah.
deduction,
Yeah.
and unless like I feel like just the fact the city has gone, their case is still in the clouds.
Yep.
I feel like a team can tempt fate with that, but it's going to take a lot of convincing. And as well, we have at least I don't know what Tottenham's ownership has been like recently, but United couldn't even pay their staff's families to attend the final.
So I don't know if it's that they couldn't. I think Ratcliffe
But
is an asshole and he didn't want to.
that's what I meant. It's just like they're cheaping out to that point.
Yeah.
I think Ratcliffe is looking for an excuse to
To
cheap
gut
out as
to
well.
gut and yeah.
This might be the excuse. I feel like United
Reasonable.
have a lot more to lose in this final than Tottenham. Tottenham has always been like Tottenham's is not going to fucking explode. They're used to this. United can't.
Yeah.
United, like a sane United fans cannot take this loss.
Yeah, I don't think Carl will be a very happy camper if they lose next week. I I am so excited to watch this game with Matt and TPSN just to like if it doesn't go well. Grizz won't be there, he'll probably be working. But I'm excited for that. It's just gonna be a fun watch. Also, I will say Cristiano Ronaldo hat trick incoming.
Yeah,
I'm talking
I think
about
a,
I'm talking about prime Sonny. 27-yard curler with the right foot, 23-yard curler with the left foot, and a one-touch piss missile from up top, which with whichever foot suits it better. All outside the box, typical Sun fashion. Who says no?
hard to say.
And they don't even need to be good shots because they might just go through Onana's hands.
That too.
And like I said this last week, and I will say it again. There are multiple saves that man has missed this season that I'm 100% confident in my ability as a goalkeeper that I would have saved. Got anything to say about that?
I mean, you're not wrong. I think it's quite literally going to be who is more ass. And I mean, hey, there's a potential chance that they just go with like that Turkish backup instead of Onana
There's a
in the final.
chance, but
Like, I
you're
mean,
talking about
hey,
it's beyond deer, right?
yeah. Hey, I did not want to attempt to pronounce
I
that,
might have
but
gotten that horrendously wrong.
that looks correct based off of what I'm looking at. I mean, this is quite literally the who is less ass derby.
Yeah,
And
it
it's
is.
some,
It is the Who is Less Ass Derby featuring the battle for non-embarrassment.
oh my God, we're going to see Archie Gray in a European final.
Chad is not okay right now.
Put it on a shirt. Yeah, I'm still bitter about that last year.
Yeah, I know you are.
Won't have to deal with it this year, though. You want to talk about the championship playoff? Because you wanted to mention it last time.
Championship playoff, the second leg of Sunderland Coventry was pure cinema. Like, absolutely incredible. Coventry score to even up the aggregate late in the match. Game goes into extra time. It's back and forth. Corner comes in the 122nd minute. Sunderland, I forgot the player it was, jumps up, gets his head down and forward, hits the ball, bar down header, game over. Sunderland are going to Wembley. I love the championship playoff. That moment also was just one of those moments that shows why I think this is the greatest game in the world. And just, I don't know, seeing the pure elation on the Sunderland fans at the exact same moment as the despair and sadness came over the Coventry fans. Seeing two people share the same moment, or two groups of people share the same moment in drastically different ways in real time on television. Like, I don't see that the same way in American sports, especially because, like, American sports do not really do such a good job. I mean, the MLS does do this, but of ensuring that away fans are sitting with each other. And that's what makes moments like these great. You have all of the Sunderland fans, you have all of the Coventry fans, all coupled together in their. I mean, Sunderland had most of the stadium because it was theirs, but the Coventry fans are all together. So you get one camera angle of Sunderland just going absolutely insane, and then you get another angle of the Coventry supporters just devastated, and all of the emotion going on at the same time. I don't know. It's why I love this sport so much.
I just want to say to the team that has a job lot at their stadium, get fucked. Um, I mean, I feel bad for Haji, right? At least, but Sunderland is such a better story. It's not even close. Like they were in League One, like not even 5 years ago, I believe. And I think because they got double relegated. Um,
They
actually,
went.
no, yeah,
They did a
yeah,
down down.
yeah. They got double relegated. They were in League One for like 3-ish years, and then they got promoted. They've been like in the middle, finished 16th last year, and please Sunderland win this game. I cannot have another freaking season with Sheffield United being in last place, Leeds being in second to last place, Burnley being in third to last. I can't do this. I can't. It's so unserious. It is so unserious. This league deserves someone else. I can't do another freaking year with the same three ass teams. If it's gonna be three ass teams, at least have someone else be different. And at least let it be the fucking stadium of light in the fucking Premier League. I
Yeah,
think that's something, man.
yeah,
Something. God.
yeah. I This isn't really a topic. I just want to give a big shout out to Bologna for winning the Coppa Italia. Losing Calafiori, losing Xerxes, losing Thiago Motta after the phenomenal season they had, and coming back and having the season that they had this season is an incredible feat. Like, genuinely just an incredible feat. I just got to give them a shout out.
Shout out Roma manager, Leicester City legend Claudio Ranieri.
Four?
Uh, Basically saving Roma's season.
Yeah, that's fair.
Red
Yep.
hot.
Yeah.
Since we're still in Italy, shout out to Chelsea legend Romelu Lukaku for having Napoli first place in the league.
Yep.
Scored again the other day against Genoa.
Yep.
He
He
has a
loves
double
Serie A.
double. He has a double double in the year. He has like 10 assists, like 13, 14 goals.
Damn.
So
I was talking to another friend in TPSN the other day, and I said, and I'm a proponent of this, so I don't even know why I said it. I don't think the Serie A gets enough coverage.
no, it doesn't. It
Like,
really is.
it's a very exciting league. It's always ultra competitive. And even during the period of time where Juve was just dominant, the rest of the European spots were always ultra competitive. But yeah, I like Serie A.
It's a good I'm very happy that I watched more of it because it has been a fun season. Um they have a chance at winning like another like they've been represented in the Champions League twice in the past 3 years.
Same team, but yeah.
It's still it's still in I mean it's still Italy and I still think like I just it's fun. It's fun,
Yeah.
you know?
It's a
Just
fun
good
league.
vibes. Good vibes over there, you know? You know what else is good vibes? Lamine
Lamine fucking Yamal.
Hell yes. Great
He
minds think alike.
he is genuinely, he might be the best player in the world at fucking 17 years old.
Ballon d'Or. I don't care. Book it. Don't care. Ballon d'Or.
I don't know if I
I
would go that far.
I'm going that far.
I don't know if the numbers support it.
I don't know where Rafinha would be without him. I don't know what this Barcelona would do without him. Be without him. I like maybe Usman Dembele is the only other argument I'm willing to listen to at this point.
Would you hear Pedri?
No,
Really?
no.
Really?
I think Lamine Yamal's been more important.
I'm not so sure I agree. It's just
I
it's one of those things where one, Pedri has more man of the match awards. Two, somebody's got to control the midfield and get the ball up to the wingers. And I genuinely, as good as Lamine Yamal has been, and he's my favorite non-Liverpool player right now. And part of that is because of how good he is, and part of that is because his Instagram profile picture, and I'll get to that in a second. But I don't think his numbers justify a Ballon d'Or. And Pedri's been the best midfielder on the planet also this season. And I will say this, if Vinny didn't win it over Rodri last year, I don't see Lamine Yamal winning it over Pedri this year. But I think it's going to Ousmane Dembele. I know you're super high on Inter. I think PSG beat them, and I think it goes to Ousmane Dembele.
Why are you gonna hit me with that already, bro? I was trying to keep my mind off of that because the amount of stocks I have in that game. But okay,
So,
thanks,
but
buddy.
back
Thanks.
to Lamine Yamal. Ballon d'Or conversation aside, look, I'm not trying to. He's fucking 17. Do I think he's gonna win it next year? Probably. The kid's gonna get like fucking 7 of them. And the numbers just don't support it this year. The impact does, but the numbers don't. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
Like, do I think he's the best player in the world right now? Yes. Do I think he's been the best player in the world all season? No. Do I love that he has what I think is Goku going Super Saiyan as his
It is.
profile picture, but it very well could be Gohan as well? All of the fucking characters in Dragon Ball have the same face, and the only differentiator is the hair.
Which is really funny because it really isn't. It's more or less their clothing.
No, the hair is also part of it.
I, mm, I
I mean, so when I say everybody, I mean all of the
Sans
Saiyans.
the Sans.
Saiyans.
Okay,
So
okay.
like even Trunks has a similar facial structure in terms of the drawing, but it's the clothing and it's the hair. But if you're just looking at like a shoulders up shot of like Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta as an adult, it's the same facial structure, it's the same drawing, it's the same face, and then the hair is different. The head shape might
Yeah,
be a
I know
little bit
that.
different too. So I'm genuinely confused just because I can't tell based on the picture if it's a Gohan or Goku in Lamine Yamal's profile picture. But I have Beerus and two Dragon Balls in my computer, so I am going to gravitate towards the player who has somebody going
Um,
Super Saiyan in their
you know
profile
what?
picture.
If
What
if it was Mr. Saiyan, I think he should be unanimous Ballon d'Or winner.
you think
I
if it
mean,
was
Mr.
Mr.
Satan.
Satan?
Yes, if it was Mr. Satan, yes.
Okay, okay,
Like someone get that to Lamine Yamal's social media team. Make it Mr. Satan.
make it Mr. Satan. No,
Hashtag Lamine Yamal for Satan.
he's genuinely outrageous. I also did not see his goal that he scored today.
That's really disappointing, Brian. We're gonna get a live Brian reaction.
Who did they play today?
Espanol, the same team 2 years ago whose fans stormed the field when they won.
Barcelona versus Espanyol
And then when they were
highlights.
celebrating today, they proceeded to oh yeah, congrats on Barcelona for the league title. But they
All right.
turned on the sprinklers this time.
What minute did he score, Chadius?
I don't fucking know.
Check
Let's
Foot
say
Mob. I have the video up.
it's 53rd minute.
Cool. I'm clicking through. Okay. Holy fucking shit.
That's what Joe Brian. I hope that goal alone changes your opinion.
That's the same goal
This,
he scored against fucking France at the Euros.
yes,
That's the
that's what
same fucking goal. Holy
give him the
shit.
Ballon d'Or for that goal alone. I don't know if we genuinely got messy, but like a shit talk messy,
We got
which
messy
is
with fucking swag.
we have aura farming messy.
Also, I'm just gonna let Chad real quick just give a little bit of Lamine Yamal glaze because I have to go grab something that I have to show to the camera. So, Chad, take it away.
Lamine Yamal, what is there to say? He makes me feel old. He makes you feel old. Since Brian isn't here, I'm just gonna say this. Trent is leaving. The aliens aren't contacting us. But Lamine Yamal is there to save us from the aliens. And he's already bandwagoned Barcelona because Trent is leaving. Okay. Lamine Yamal. You're going to enjoy listening to that one, Brian.
Yeah, I have zero clue what Chad just said, but I had to go out and grab my Lamine Yamal jersey because I genuinely think having a Lamine Yamal 27 shirt is going to be like as sick one day as having like a messy 19.
Liverpool are such a poverty team that Brian has already bandwagoned to Barcelona.
So I haven't bandwagoned to Barcelona. I bought
No,
three.
no,
Hold
no.
on. Let me explain myself. I bought three Liverpool jerseys off of GoGoalShop.com for $35 each. And because I bought three jerseys, I got a fourth one for $10. So I used that fourth one for $10 to get a Lamine Yamal jersey because I didn't want another Keylor Navas jersey.
Liverpool have fallen such downhill that
This was also 2 years ago.
okay, that calling Lamine Ball 2 years ago.
A year and a half ago. I can't say. I mean, he had already debuted for Barcelona. He had already been playing incredibly well. He had already been like it was known to a degree how
Oh,
good he was. But it,
just, just,
I bought the jersey a year and a half ago.
just you wait. That Liverpool scarf's gonna change really soon.
It's just not. I have the
Oh,
Liverpool scarf. I have my "You Never Walk Alone" flag. I have the Darwin Nunez picture that you got me. Dude, I have give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I don't know why this is a really bad idea to take
he
this off
walks
my
a
wall.
lonely
But I'm doing
road,
it.
the only one that Trent has ever known.
All right, I can't
Don't
get the
know
thing off
where
my
to
wall.
go.
But sorry for the lighting change. I have a replica concrete square that is a replica of one that is outside of Anfield that says my name, the year I got my MBA, and "You Never Walk Alone, love mom and dad." I am never switching away from Liverpool. But Lamine
That's what
Yamal's a
they
fucking
all
baller,
say.
and I have his jersey.
That's what they all say.
I have two non-Liverpool jerseys in my closet. And the wild thing is one of them is Barcelona and the other one is Real Madrid.
Jason Tatum and Lamine Yamal.
Two teenagers making waves in their sport.
I will say, I think using Lamine Yamal is only 17 in 2031 will be such a banger of a meme.
Oh,
I'm
100%.
investing into that now. But you know what isn't Lamine Yamal?
But what isn't Lamine Yamal levels of fun, Chad?
Men in Blazers.
Why, Chad?
Fuck them. That's why.
No, but genuinely, I am so disappointed in Men in Blazers. It was my number one podcast on Spotify last year, and the fact that they have a specific podcast on their channel called World of Corruption or World Cup Corruption or whatever it's called, where they went into detail with all of the atrocities that were reported about the Qatar World Cup. They talked negatively on Russia when Russia was hosting it, and nothing has been said by that media outlet since all the
October.
October.
They haven't said a single negative thing. They probably have said negative things about Saudi Arabia getting the World Cup. They've been completely dead silent on what's going on in this country.
It is terrifying. It is awful. I don't necessarily need to get out chat. I'll let you get into it all you want, but I don't necessarily need to get into everything outside of footy that is going on. But the fact that the current administration has said that they are one immediately going to send tourists out of the country who come to the World Cup like the second the tournament is over. That's not good. But the biggest no-no for me and the biggest reason why I think FIFA should take a look at reallocating the location of this World Cup is, I don't know, maybe the leader of our executive branch said that he didn't want to give the Iranian national team a visa to come play in the World Cup.
So like exactly. I mean, that's like one of the biggest. I think that's an example of like FIFA need to genuinely sit down and say, hey, something like if they do something about that, that's fine. FIFA has been completely dead silent. Not even like talking, like at least standing up for it. They've been just silent. There's been no like, oh, like, yeah, we know they're being sketchy. We know they're being weird. You know, it's like we know this is bad, but it's like at least Infantino did the stupid today I feel like a refugee. Today I feel like this. At least he did some stupid nonsense like that. They've been completely dead silent, and somehow that feels infinitely worse. And the fact that the same media outlets for the past decade have been so vocal against what is so wrong with FIFA and what FIFA is like enabling to just turn around and be dead silent with what is going on in their home soil is so obnoxious and so detrimental to how this country is going to be viewed for this sport for the rest of our lives.
I also want to jump in real quick. I don't know if any of our listeners also listen to Men in Blazers, but over the years, Roger Bennett has obtained his American citizenship. He has said how great it is to be an American. He has said all of these other things about how great this country is and what he loves about it. And everything that he has described that he loves about it is going away before our eyes, and he hasn't said a goddamn word.
These were the same guys for months, like months leading up to the Qatar World Cup. Every single day, it was these guys are evil. This country is evil. That this, and I'm justified. I'm not trying to say this isn't what they weren't saying was wrong.
Yeah, we're not trying to absolve anything that was going on in Qatar, anything that is going on in Saudi
Right.
Arabia with the next World Cup, or anything that was going on in Russia. We're trying to highlight that there is a lot of human rights violations and atrocities going on in this country right now. And while they talked about what was negatively going on in other countries, they haven't said jack shit about here.
And the big thing is because they've gone corporate. Now I understand like social media, some not social, but media outlets, New York Times, The Athletic. There's probably a couple others that I can't think of. They've talked about what's been going on here,
Yep.
but it's like we've reached a point where, and I discussed this in a video recently, local fan groups are too terrified to go to games.
Yep.
And for some reason, there's this big thing. It's like, well, if you're not illegal, you don't have to worry about anything. Guys, we are arresting students on visas who are not committing crime. Their crime is thought crime. What happened to Ramesa Ozturk? What happened to Mahmoud Khalil? What's happened to Kilmar Abrego Garcia? What's like they are breaking into they are breaking car windows to force people in. ICE is not
I don't know.
identifying
They're talking
people
about
being
suspending
arrested.
habeas corpus, which
There's
means that
just there you will no longer be able to habeas your corpus, man.
which for anybody who doesn't know, that literally means that you can be arrested and thrown in jail without trial, and they don't have to tell you what's going on, and you can just be in prison for no fucking reason.
The U.S. government does not. Whoever arrests you does not have to justify in front of a judge your arrest and your detainment.
Correct.
And why would anyone in their sane fucking mind want to go to the World Cup? I know what I have been saying and what other people have been saying to warn people. Like FIFA is still going to hold this World Cup, but the best thing that any person can do is do not go to this event. Even if you're in the United States, the tickets are not going to be cheaper. It's not going to be more accessible. FIFA is selling multi-game packages for 6 months in advance before they sell these single game packages for a reason, because they know that they are hosting it in a country that is potentially going to cost them millions of dollars because foreign fans are looking at what is going on in this country and they're realizing, why should we go here when there's two other host nations?
I'm also jumping back in, and I want to say that while we while most countries who host a World Cup or host an Olympics, which we have both of in the next 3 years from now, most countries are set up to lose large amounts of money. Like, I think since 1992, the only country who's actually profited and benefited, or only city that's profited and benefited off of the Olympics, is Barcelona. But we live in a country that is poised to profit substantially off of hosting events like this because we have the infrastructure. We don't need to spend billions on building stadiums. We have top of the line stadiums that we can put sod down. We can put grass over the turf in American football stadiums. We can seat 60 to 80,000 people at every single stadium. We have an ability to profit off of people going to games and profit off of tourism unlike any other nation because we don't have to invest as much into the infrastructure for the stadium, or for the stadiums, I should say. And people are not going to want to come here. I would recommend, and I hate that I'm going to say this, but if you look like somebody who is a part of a marginalized group that has been targeted in this country, do not come here for the fucking World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, FIFA, I think, made the or at least the United States. I understand this was 10 years in advance, but this is more or less. There's two other host nations. Fans can afford to go elsewhere, and I think a lot of in it's just insane. I think the more insane thing to me is that ever since I became a fan of the sport, biggest thing that has been pushed is that this is a group where fans will stand up for other fans. Regardless of your differences, of your potential identity, your politics, fans will stand up for fans. I am yet to see that in terms of federations. I'm yet to see that in any sort of, and maybe it's just because we live in the United States, it's become very isolated in terms of outside media that we get, but there's federations are quite literally they've been dead silent. And I think that silence is incredibly worrying because you are jeopardizing the safety of every single person that enters the United States. And like I am I really do not want to see anyone get arrested by the border patrol in this country because that's a very scary thing. And just because some people might think it can't be me, they'll just be racially profiling. American citizens are getting their phone searched through at the airport as
So
like we speak.
I will say that that is being much more emphasized and much more enforced now, but that has always been a rule. Like Customs and Border Patrol have always had the ability to search your phone. It's just being much more
But they're
forced upon now. And so I'm traveling outside of the country in August, and I am genuinely considering doing a full cloud backup of my phone before I leave.
don't even get a burner phone, dude.
No, hear me out. So I'm considering doing a full backup of my phone and then just wiping it. I can't afford to go get a burner phone for a week vacation. Look,
Don't so there take a camera.
I come from a very privileged background. I come from a very well-off family. But my parents, my family, myself, I can't afford to get a burner phone just for a week vacation. That would be stupid.
Fair enough. I
I
mean,
also don't really have anything
no.
incriminating on my phone. So, like, if they wanted to search my phone, like, sure, go through it. But it's the principle. Like, I'm sorry, do you want to see my
uh,
TikTok likes of, like, Zach's Tech Turf and Carter PCs talking about computers? Or, like, all of the footy edits? Or, like, all of the clips of Chad talking about footy? Or, like, Will from TPSN talking about, like,
they're gonna see
sliding
you.
and lacrosse and hockey? Like, sure.
They're gonna see your Pedri's winning the Ballon d'Or take and be like, get this guy out of here. Send him back.
I
You
never
can't.
said Pedri's winning the Ballon d'Or. I just think he might be the more
Better
important
chance. Better
player for Barca.
compared to that, it's just like get him out of here. But no, like all jokes aside, the only reason I'm making jokes is because it's the only way to make this absolutely abhorrent situation that we are living in and living through 1% better.
It,
It's
it's just it's sad, it's scary, it's embarrassing. I I have been proud to be an American for a large portion of my life. I am not really anymore with what is going on. It just it's difficult. I forgot the name of the nonprofit group, Chad, you made a video on it, but a nonprofit human rights group called upon FIFA to take a look at no longer hosting the World Cup in the US. And you made a video on it, Travel Football Fan made a video on it. But it's just it's scary. I'm scared for any of the tourists who come over here, and it sucks to say it, and I said it earlier about the marginalized groups, but I'm scared for the non-Caucasian Europeans who are going to plan on coming to this country to watch their international teams play in the World Cup.
yeah, I mean, it, like the biggest hope is that somehow, some way, this gets moved. It's not happening.
Yep.
So the only thing I can just say is just be smart, man.
Yep.
It comes every 4 years. You have you have your continental championships 2 years from now. You have Nations League. You have a lot of other opportunities to enjoy your national team on a major stage. And
I
I
mean, we
understand that the World Cup is a once in a lifetime thing to go to. You have a lifetime.
yeah, I come from a family where my mother is obsessed with sports in every single capacity. The stereotype in this country is that you learn sports from your father. I learned sports from my mother. She is sports crazed in every sense of the word. She wants to go to the World Cup. I don't know if she still does, but she has wanted to for years. I I don't know if I can do it.
Because it's like eventually that money in U.S. tourism, or at least here, even locally, money that we give, while FIFA will take a majority of that check, that money will eventually go back to this government that is abusing its power, that is horrendously targeting and racially profiling in mass
Yep,
every non-white person in this country.
correct. Correct. It just sucks. It's a sucky situation. I was so excited for this whenever it got announced however many years ago that it was going to be
It's
here.
been a decade. It's been a decade,
Yeah, it's just
and
awful. It's just awful that it's come to this.
it's taken 3 months to completely kill all hope.
Yep.
Like, and like already major risk coming to the United States. We have a lot of problems, poor poor public transportation. If you are going to come to this
Yeah,
country,
wait,
do
but
not use Greyhound.
just to jump into when I said infrastructure in terms of hosting a major international event, I was talking about stadiums, I was talking about hotels, I was talking about all of that kind of infrastructure.
Look,
I am not talking about public transportation because the public transportation system in this country
even
is awful.
even locally for stadiums, fucking MetLife, multiple like hotels are like, hey, the only way to get to MetLife is by car,
I mean
right?
that's just objectively not true.
Really? Because I saw there is a stadium, I swear to God, in the United States that has the sign, you cannot go to Met, like they will not allow you to get there by foot.
So
I thought that was fucking MetLife. Was that
so
not
by
MetLife?
foot, sure, but to say the only way you can get to MetLife by car is just not true. Um,
All right, whatever.
there aren't very many. Like I live right by it. There aren't very many hotels within walking distance of MetLife Stadium. But from my experience of going to like a bunch of different stadiums and whatever across the country, large football stadiums, like American football stadiums in particular, very few of them are within walking distance of multiple hotels. Lucas Oil Stadium or Lucas Oil Field, whichever it's called in Indianapolis, is. But the reason why the final is being held at MetLife is because you can wake up in Baltimore, Maryland. You can wake up in Washington, D.C. You can wake up in multiple places in Connecticut, multiple places in northern New York, even further away, and be at MetLife Stadium within a couple hours by train. It is one of the most accessible stadiums by train in this country. That's why the final's there. Like, is East Rutherford a beautiful place? No. Is the stadium the most top of the line stadium we have in this country? No. But it is one of the few stadiums that is incredibly accessible via public transportation, whether it be bus or train.
Yeah, they stand corrected then.
Yeah. Well, no, you don't stand corrected
But
because you were talking about walking distance. Theoretically, yes, you have to access MetLife by car, but you don't have to drive directly to MetLife. Like there's a stretch of hotels on 78 about 20 minutes from MetLife, maybe 30 to 40 minutes probably by car. But you can drive 20 minutes from these hotels and be at the train station in Secaucus and then hop on a train and get directly to MetLife.
Julio.
Yeah. But logistics of getting to the final aside, I don't know how full the hotels are going to be because I don't think people want to come here.
No, I think I really hope. I really, really hope like what I'm trying to do and what other people are trying to do as well actually works. And I think it is resonating because as much as national media is not going to try to tell people in this country, a lot of motherfuckers are waking up to what is going on.
Yep.
Whether or not they voted for this, I don't care anymore at this point. We are all the same shrimp in the same boiling pot right now.
Yep.
The only way we get out of this is together.
Agreed.
To quote High School Musical, we are all in this together.
We're all in this together. All right, let's stop singing so we don't get copyrighted. Even though we are both bad enough singers that we could damn well make the parody argument.
We're in our High School Musical arc. Soon we'll be in our Les Mis arc.
Les Mis.
I say Les because it pisses all you off.
Okay. So before we get out of here, I just have one thing that I would like to say. Another friend in the Trailer Park Sports Network Discord server sent me a link to a song from the musical Falsettos. The song is called Four Jews in a Room Bitching. And as somebody who was raised Jewish, I have never heard a song that describes a family event more. And that is all I have to say.
Did you know that every team Landry Shamet was on in the playoffs lost in the second round in 7 games?
All right, we're not going to go over this again because we went over it before the show. The Knicks are not going to lose to the Celtics, Chad. I am sorry Jason Tatum tore his Achilles on your birthday. I think this political conversation is going to be more of a norm on the show, but thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
You will live to regret these words, Brian Cockburn.